Hello dear students, welcome back to Learn Physics. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the chapter Moving Charges and Magnetism. In that first we are going to see the important formulas which we are using here. First one is Biot-Savart law. Biot-Savart law formula you need to know, that is dB equals mu 0 by 4 pi into IDL cross R by R cube. Okay, I the current and dl is the current element which we are considering, length of the current element, and r is the distance and r cube. I mu 0 by 4 pi into I dl cross r by r cube when we are considering, that is the vector form. Otherwise I dl by r square. Next is magnetic field due to a straight current carrying wire. Then mu 0 I by 4 pi r into sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2. Theta 1 and theta 2 are the two sides, the angles which the point P is making with the two ends of the wire. So this is for a finite wire when we are considering, this will be the formula. Mu 0 by 4 pi r into sine theta 1 plus theta 2. Here you need to know what is meant by the theta 1, theta 2, L and all you need to know. Next is see here, where Q1 and Q2 are the two angles, sorry, not Q1, theta 1 and theta 2 are the angles subtended by the ends of the conductor at the reference point with the normal. Next is, see, if the point P is at a distance R, then for an infinitely long straight wire when we are considering, it will be mu 0 I by 2 pi R. Okay, this is mu 0 I by 4 pi r into sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2, sine 90, it will become, if it is an infinitely long wire, then it is mu 0 I by 2 pi r it will be. So an infinitely long wire, it is mu 0 I by 2 pi r, and for a straight wire carrying current, it is mu 0 I by 4 pi r into sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2. Next one, magnetic field due to a current carrying circular coil. For a circular coil when we are considering, see the the derivation we did it nicely because anyway that is not required for you now. Magnetic field due to a current carrying circular coil. At the center when we are considering, it is mu 0 Ni by 2R. Okay, and so next is when we are considering a point on the axis. If I am considering a point on the axis of the circular wire, then mu 0 Ni a square divided by 2a square plus x square the whole power 3 by 2. A is the radius of the coil and x is the distance of the point. Okay, mu 0 and so I am taking a point x at a distance x from the center of the coil and which is having a radius a, then we will consider it as b equals mu 0 Ni a square divided by 2 into a square plus x square the whole power 3 by 2. Next is Ampere-Circuital law. Ampere-Circuital law, closed integral b dot dl equals mu 0 into I. Then magnetic field strength within a solenoid is mu 0 Ni. B equals mu 0 Ni. Here you need to know what is N. N is the number of turns per unit length. Unit length for 1 meter length. What will be the number of turns? That is small letter n. Next is magnetic field due to a toroid. That also we will consider it as B equals mu 0 Ni only. Here it is B equals mu 0 Ni you can consider. In toroid, what is N? N will be equal to N by 2 pi r. Okay, so here this is also this number of turns per unit length only, N by 2 pi r. Now outside the toroid, magnetic field will be equal to 0. Next is magnetic force on a moving charge in a magnetic field. If it is in a magnetic field, F is equal to Q into V cross B. And if the magnetic force on a current carrying conductor, if while we are considering a current carrying conductor, magnetic field force is equal to F equals I into L cross B. Next is force per unit length between two parallel conductors when we are considering. I1 is the current flowing through one and I2 is the current flowing through the next one. Then force acting per unit length will be equal to mu 0 I1 I2 divided by 2 pi r. Okay, so force acting between the two parallel current carrying conductors, that is F by L equals mu 0 I1 I2 divided by 2 pi r. Next is torque experienced by a current carrying loop in a uniform magnetic field is. So torque is given as 2 equals Ni into A cross B. What is Nia? Nia we can write it as magnetic dipole moment, M cross B. Okay, M equals Nia. Nia is the magnetic dipole moment. Next is magnetic moment of a current loop, M equals Nia. Nia is the magnetic moment as I told you here. Okay, then next is deflection in moving coil galvanometer. Phi equals NAB by C into I. Okay, NAB by C into I. Current sensitivity, we already got it as so current sensitivity S is equal to, or theta by I, that is equal to NAB by C. Here what is meant by C? C is the torsional constant which it is applying over there, that is C. NIAB by C. Here in this we considered C as the torsional constant. Phi equals NAB by C, that is C into I, and theta by I. We can find out theta, that is deflection. It's not theta. Here we can consider it as theta. Theta equals NAB by C into I. So theta by I. Current sensitivity is theta by I, that is NAB by C. And this reciprocal of this current sensitivity is called a figure of merit. The reciprocal of figure of merit, C by NAB. Okay, what is meant by N of the system? N is the number of turns in the coil, and A is the area of the plane when we are considering. B is the magnetic field. Okay, NAB by C into I. C is the torsional constant which we are getting from the moving coil galvanometer. Next is for conversion of a galvanometer to ammeter. What should we do to find out for converting a galvanometer to ammeter? For converting a galvanometer to ammeter, where we need to connect a shunt resistance in parallel with the circuit. If it is a galvanometer conversion to a galvanometer to an ammeter conversion, we need to connect a very small resistance in parallel to the circuit. So that resistance is called as shunt resistance. Shunt resistance S equals Ig divided by I minus Ig into G. And while for converting the galvanometer into voltmeter, what should we do for that? So for that, we will be connecting a very large resistance, that is a very high resistance in series with the circuit. A very high resistance in series with the circuit will be conversion of galvanometer to voltmeter. So resistance required, how can we find out the resistance required? R equals V by Ig minus G. Okay, so these are the important formulas which you need to learn in the moving charges and magnetism in that chapter. Okay, so we'll do some new 2-3 questions also. First one, if a conducting wire carries a direct current through it, the magnetic field associated with the current will be. Conducting wire carries a direct current through it. The magnetic field, will it be having any magnetic field if a direct current is passing through that? No, it won't be having any, what is that? Magnetic field associated with the current will be 0. Okay, so the magnetic field inside will be equal to 0. That is here. Inside magnetic field is 0, but what about the outside magnetic field? Outside a magnetic field will be present at the outside portion. What will be the magnetic field at the outside? Mu 0 I by 2 pi r. So a conducting wire carries a direct current through it. The magnetic field associated with it will be inside that magnetic field will be equal to 0, but outside that it is b is equal to mu 0 I by 2 pi r. So magnetic field is present only outside the conductor. Next one. The compass needle is placed above a straight conducting wire. If the current passes through the conducting wire from south to north, direction of the compass is. So compass needle is placed above a straight conducting wire. Okay, a compass needle is kept. The current passing through the conducting wire from south to north. So current is moving from south to north. It is moving from south to north, then deflection of the coil. We can use right hand thumb rule. So while we are using right hand thumb rule, the magnetic field produced will be from east to west. So use the right hand thumb rule and find out the answer. So the answer is towards west. When a charged particle moving with velocity v is subjected to a magnetic field of induction B, the force on it is 0. This implies that the total force acting on it, the system is equal to 0. F is equal to Q into V cross B. So force is equal to 0 means charge, there is no charge. V equals 0, B equals 0 or QVB sine theta. In that theta can be equal to 0 or 180 degree. Okay, so here the answer will be which one we can write. Angle between is either 0 or 180 degree. Angle between necessarily 90 degree. Angle between can have a value other than 90 degree. Angle between can have any value other than 0 and 180. It is non-zero. So it is equal to 0 when 0 or 180. Non-zero means other than 0 and 180 degree. Next question. So next one is, consider the following statement about the Oersted experiment. Statements are given as, first statement is, the magnetic field due to a straight wire, it is a straight current carrying conductor is in the form of a circular loop around it. Then next one is, the magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor is weak at near points from the conductor compared to far points. Where magnetic field will be weak? Will it be weak at the near point or far point? Far point it will be weak, right? Near point it will be stronger. So this is wrong. But the statement is correct, as in the form of circular loops only. Straight conductor, the magnetic fields are in the form of circular loop. Okay, so this one I'll give this as a homework for you. Please try to do that. Consider the following statement about the representation of the magnetic field. The magnetic field emerging out of the planars with the dot or going into the planars with the into. Is it true or false? Just find out that, as it same sentences there in your textbook. Okay, you can do that. So I hope today's video is useful for you, and if you like the channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Thank you for watching. Bye.